For like Michonne, like if she's got a full day's travel ahead of you, can 4 guys really track a lone black ninja woman through a deciduous forest?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea how well tracking works. I know that it can work, but it's got to be relatively fresh, right?
Yeah, and you know, like I can see how you could track deer and things like that, especially if there's a blood trail. But if you're just trying, and you know the general direction that they left in, but
I know we have some.
We do have some feedback on that to read.
Well, I was going to say we have some people who are like in the military and can probably do that stuff. I'd be interested to know how well it works and what the criteria is for it.
Yeah, if you don't have a dog or anything like that, you're just 4 guys trying to track down one woman that's had a 24-hour head start on you. Because that's the thing, we know the timeline.
Sure.
Merle let her out sometime during the day, but it was close to evening time because he mentioned his bat curfew. They had the zombie fights, and then even if they left at first light, she had at least a half-day jump on them.
Yeah, that's significant.
Yeah, you can cover a lot of ground. Anyway, you got anything else to talk about?
Idiot Survivor of the Week goes to Glenn.
Really?
Obviously. Yeah. You can't let Merle get that close to you.
Yeah.
You know what this dude's capable of.
Yeah. I kind of like it in... Well, I'll just say that for feedback because someone put a nice message in that, and I don't want to step on their toes.
All right. It didn't come up with the zombie kill of the week because you canceled out the guts. That wasn't actually a kill.
I think that zombie eventually died. No,
Maybe.
seriously.
It had to have, right? For her to get away?
Yeah.
She had to kill it.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll give it to him.
Yeah, because I think they looked over the body and the zombie was dead.
Yeah.
So she killed him. That was just the first blow.
Yeah, she just wanted to get a little dirty before she did.
Right.
Ugh.
Ready for feedback?
Yeah, definitely.
Can we pause it so I can re-tee up?
We can.
And ready for the feedback section. Got a couple old emails from the previous episode, I should say. Ed Gree says, I know you guys are busy, but is there any plans in covering a new show like Homeland, Sons of Anarchy, Revolution, or Boardwalk Empire?
You know, you're the first person to ask about that.
It's been a while since we addressed that, but
yeah.
The basic thing is I would love, and I do cover Homeland and Boardwalk Empire on Facebook. I create a thread every week to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I just don't have the time.
It takes me basically 3 weeknights to do this show.
Yeah. So
after work.
Yeah. So if you don't know, it's not just watching the show and doing the podcast, which there's 2.5 hours there. We watch the show again at least once, usually another time. So there's another 2 hours. It takes me, especially at the current volumes we're getting, 2.5 to 3 hours just to process the email.
Yep.
Respond to the ones we're not going to read, put on the format and edit for content, and then to take the notes. So we've got quite a bit of time invested, and then we've got to do the editing after we do the thing and posting. Mm-hmm. It's basically from 6 to 10 on tonight. So there's another 4 hours. I'd say it's 8 to 10 hours a week we probably put in the show.
Surprisingly, yeah.
And
I don't think about it because it's fun, but
yeah.
Another one would be that would kill all of my time.
And we did last year. We found out where the breaking point was for us.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We can do 2 podcasts, even 3 a week for brief bursts. Mm. And the problem with a lot of these shows is they overlap.
Yeah.
So it's I'd love to start doing a particular show, but it starts up 4 weeks into another one's run. So there's going to be some times where I'm going to be doing 2 and 3 podcasts a week, and that's just really tough to balance that with having a healthy life with your friends and family. So if we can figure out how to do this as a full-time gig, watch out. We probably do 5 shows a week, but until that day comes, you're going to have to get by with our Facebook threads on the shows that you like. I don't watch Revolution. I've got them all taped. I'll probably watch them later on.
I watched the premiere. It was meh.
Well, I've heard it's gotten better, and it's qualifies as a hit on NBC standards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a lot of people watching it. Sons of Anarchy, I'll probably watch later, but by the time I got interested in it, it's too far along in its run to start. So it's kind of like The Shield. I need to get to that one of these days too.
Yeah, well, there are just a lot of shows I don't have time to watch. I'm trying to get to Homeland when I can.
Homeland. See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if Jim and I were synced up this season, we talked about doing a 15 to 30 minute cast each week where we just talk about the others. We don't do feedback. We don't do a recap.
Yeah,
we just talk about the issues and the larger themes and stuff, and try to do like a real critical podcast. Alas, we just haven't had the time. So, we do take. I feel like our slate right now is probably fullish. We might be able to add another show if the right one came along, and obviously. Breaking Bad retires.
It's true.
We'll have an opening in our show slot.
Yeah, only 8 more episodes of that, and we do have periods in between shows.
Right.
The last couple times we've had about a month or 2 weeks or so between shows.
Yeah, we might be able to get around to doing either back catalogs or something. But it's just we'd love to do more. Honestly to God, we'd love to do more. It's just hard to keep up with what we got. And that's the other thing is we're very proud of the fact that we've never missed a podcast.
Yeah.
And we've never been like, fuck it. And we try very hard to make sure we don't put ourselves in a position where we'd have to do either one of those things.
Definitely.
So, but thanks for thinking of us and wanting more. Jameson says, I've been listening to you guys long, so you may have covered this, but why is it in the zombie fucking apocalypse, no one in this show has said the word zombie?
That's a thing with The Walking Dead.
That's a deliberate thing, and the way Kirkland, his name it's Kirkman. The way Kirkman has said it is that in his universe, the zombie genre doesn't exist.
There are no TV shows, no movies, nothing.
Yeah. It's not a genre. It's not like Shaun of the Dead where it's people are genre aware of it, and they even kind of like lampshade that. But this is just a pure, pretend like. I don't know. Zombies didn't exist. What's funny is in early comic book episodes, because I just reread all the comics. In early comics, they fucked that up.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and like past issue 20, you never hear the Z word referred to.
Huh.
But there is one that was like super zombie heavy.
Interesting.
But, anyway. Sheila in Michigan says, first thought, oh gosh, this is going to be right up your alley, and I'm going to take issue with it.
Oh, boy.
Woodbury is generally a bad idea, not because the governor are captive walkers, which don't help, but since people can still die in the zombie apocalypse in unremarkable ways, the threat of an eternal zombie breakout always looms. With so many people living there, it's conceivable that someone could pass away in their sleep in the middle of the night and turn. Then that new walker will creep up ninja style, as they're apt to on the show, and tear off a chunk of another slumbering Woodburyite. Before you know it, the town is overrun. No, bullshit. Yeah. This isn't like some South Park episode where...
Oh, sure it is.
Step 1, someone gets spit. Step 2, someone else gets spit. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Zombies. It's like, there's no way 2 zombies can That's my biggest...
Oh, yeah. You catch them when everybody's on the
zombie trope. The fact that, like, a trained battalion of Marines can drag one wounded comrade back, and he goes psycho and starts biting everybody, and then the whole base is overrun. Bullshit.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly how it happens,
man.
Every
time.
No
fucking way. I know you feel... Do you really think that, or is that just because you're a zombie fan?
I'll be honest. It's mostly because I'm a zombie fan. I
think zombies
I'm slowly coming around to your way of thinking.
Like, the zombies, I don't think they could ever take over the world unless they were fast-style zombies, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like, if you turn on, like a 28 Days Later scenario where you turned almost instantaneously and you were super fast... But like Walking Dead style walkers, I don't see it.
With Walking Dead, you've got to consider that like she or he. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
I know that could be either way.
Oh, okay. Like that person is saying, people can die from natural causes. So you think about all the people around the world who die every day. Those people coming back as zombies. Who knows where they are?
If you said a single family could get wiped out in the blink of an eye, I'll buy that.
Sure.
But especially in
how many people die in Atlanta every day? I'm sure it's hundreds every day. So you got to think, like, if it starts breaking out all over the city because people are dying of natural causes and they're going to have to, like, figure out what it is, like, they don't even understand what's happening before there are hundreds and hundreds of zombies running around the city.
Yeah.
Turning people. Each one of them turning more people.
But they're just people. They can't batter down secure walls.
Fair enough.
They are going to drop like flies to concentrated fire.
Yeah.
You know.
But, okay, hospitals, right? Hospitals totally done. Every hospital in the country.
By the way,
gone.
that's true of any outbreak.
Yeah.
Like if we have a genuine Black Plague type scenario,
Do not.
the hospitals and city centers are going to be fucking death traps.
Yeah.
Okay, I buy that. I'm just saying that in a extinction event because of this shit.
Yeah, okay.
Or
fair enough.
Or if a single zombie gets out in a compound like Woodbury where people are zombie aware, no fucking way. No fucking way.
That's probably true, yeah.
They're going to be met with lethal force the second they start, tear-assing out of the house where they originated at.
Yeah.
It's not going to take over the whole city.
All right.
So I got that off my chest. Sorry, I disagree with you, Shield. Jake from Tallahassee said, hey, I was fixing to download your episode 305 for work tomorrow when I noticed a logo. Almost everyone in it is dead. Have you guys considered a new Watching Dead logo design?
Well, we thought about just putting X's over the people who are
fully,
dead.
I think there's 10 people on it. 5 of them are dead.
And we're going to quit podcasting once they all die. No, I think it would actually be funny to put the X's over them. I might
think
do
it'd be
that.
cool. But actually, as far as like coming up with a whole new logo, that sounds like it takes time.
It would take a good 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
30
You're telling me
minutes
to do
top.
it, aren't you?
No, I don't care. I like the logo, and I think the X's would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or if you like gave them the zombie treatment.
Oh, there you go.
That
would take a lot longer.
Yeah,
though.
but you love doing that.
I do.
Like you did that. You've been doing that semi-professionally for 10 years.
That's true. Just zombies, though.
He just likes to Photoshop his friends as zombies.
Yeah.
So.
Or I Photoshop their pants off. But that's another matter entirely.
Yeah. All right. Let's
keep moving.
I mean, he's so good at Photoshop, the pants fly off. He doesn't Photoshop the pants off. He literally Photoshops her pants off.
Nice.
Matt Green said, if Michonne and Daryl had a baby, it'd come out Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it would. Do you know he's 72 years old?
It's amazing,
That's
right?
insane.
He's a fucking grandpa in every sense of the word.
He's a Highlander is what he is.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is how badass Chuck Norris is. He's a ginger, and no one gives him shit about it.
No. Hell no.
No one has ever said that and not died. Maybe that's it. Everyone that says it dies. It's a natural selection thing.
There you go.
So it'd be interesting to see how Daryl and Michonne could have a ginger baby. But maybe it comes out a toffee-colored, dark-haired Chuck Norris.
Fair enough.
Still got the granite beard.
Looks just like him.
Some babies are born with hair. This would be born with full facial hair.
Definitely.
All right. Amanda D said, a couple weeks ago, I wrote in to mention plot clues in the opening credits. This is a great email. She had mentioned about all the different imagery on the credit sequence, the bullets and tombstones. So far, the death of Lori, the worm, and the bullet turned out to be true. Shockingly true, spent shell and all.
Yeah.
Also, all of Sophia memorabilia displayed behind Chandler Riggs' name, Carl. She's taken that as a prediction that he's going to name the baby after Sophia. That'd be cool.
He mentioned it last episode,
but I mean, will that name stick?
I don't know. So far, it's just ass kicker.
However, little ass kicker. Get it straight. However, I want to point out a mistake I made when I wrote in last time. It's Lori Cohen's, in parentheses, Maggie's name that appears over the graveyard, not Lori Holden Andrea. It turns out Andrea's name just flickers for a moment after Sarah Wayne Callies.
Yeah.
Who's Lori in the same frame as the worm and the spent bullet. I have to assume that means Andrea's dead and pretty soon. Maybe mid-season finale. You know what? I'm going to say that I think maybe that means Maggie's going to die and that Andrea's going to be fine.
Well, Maggie's certainly in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, her and Glenn are, especially with this show's newfound balls.
Yeah.
I am very, very scared for what is going to happen to these people.
For sure.
I mean, anytime you get kidnapped by a rival group that seems to dislike outsiders and has designs on how well set up you are, that's going to alarm bells. But maybe
certainly
Maggie
not
and Glenn,
good thing.
And plus my prediction, I predicted both of them 100% sure wouldn't survive, and I can't be that right about everything. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the other
Can't
law,
be that
law
right.
of the universe. Brian S says, okay, this is the good one about psychotic breaks. So I'm not claiming to be an expert. I do have a master's degree in counseling, and I have a fairly intimate understanding of many mental health disorders. Brian S, I do believe you just claimed to be an expert.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of how that expertise claimship works, but you stumbled into it. His rage, born out of grief and just the overall unspeakable horrors he's experienced, led to a psychotic break. Many things can lead to temporary psychotic breaks, such as bipolar disorder, grief, trauma, etc. He's been through all of that, including etc. Everyone who has had this whole sequence of everyone has this whole sequence of events wrong. Tossing Glenn away was far from mean or rude. It was a man who was just about to snap and lose control of his grip on reality, pushing away a treasured friend for his own safety. Had it been Axel or someone less important to him, he might have killed him. He was doing Glenn a solid by managing to see through the madness with one last effort because he cares about him that much. Interestingly enough, Sean G., fellow listener, sent in basically the same analysis, but he did not have the same level of expertise.
Oh, his credentials weren't there.
His credentials didn't check out, so I went Brian S.'s email.
Fair enough.
He said, also, how can no one see that the walker with the distended belly is Laurie? He's hallucinating, for God's sake. The writers brilliantly show a total lack of bones or any trace of Laurie. The blood trail leads in the direction of the walker, and then we hear a walker making noises. Our first thought is it must be Laurie as a walker. Then they show us very deliberately that this walker has a distended belly, ironically, very similar in size and shape to Laurie's baby bump. How did the whole world say he ate Laurie? His psyche, probably out of an attempt at self-preservation, disassociated and left Rick seeing a generic walker. His stabbing at the belly is symbolic of Rick's blaming the pregnancy for losing Laurie, and also probably a holdover of the anger he feels towards the whole Shane triangle. Plus, Laurie said in a previous episode, Rick can't be the one to do it. She knew he couldn't handle being the one to put her down, but he is the one to put her down. And she's right, his psyche isn't strong enough to do it straight up. I like that take. I don't think it's true, but I almost kind of want it to be true. Because that neatly... Well, there's this close-up
shot of that walker where it looks like it might be Laurie.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell because I don't know if they did too good of a job with the zombie makeup or what, but he might be right about that.
I don't think so. I mean, okay, here's the deal. The zombie that Rick killed obviously isn't Laurie, but I could buy that it's him having a psychotic break and that and so basically what we're saying is
no, he's
Carl didn't shoot his mom, as we speculated, and that zombie Laurie drug herself over to the wall.
Yeah,
and then Rick came in and killed her, thinking she was not being able to deal with
some other zombie.
Yeah, I love that theory. I don't think it's right, but I
think it might be right. I think it might be right. I think that's a shot at her.
Somebody said, email us because we couldn't believe we were more incredulous about the Laurie being eaten by a zombie. I think we were pretty incredulous. We're talking about how in the hell can you eat pelvises and femurs and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, if I was sick last week, I probably would have brought the show to a screeching halt for 10 minutes just to go on about how I can't believe that they expect us to believe that.
And so that makes sense that walker is Laurie.
Yeah, I love, like I said, Brian S. Solid theory. He says, continuing, one thing I can say for sure, there's no established course or presentation of mental disorders in a zombie apocalypse. We might find all kinds of new ways the psyche can bend and break. If this sort of temporary break with sanity is common in the real world, why isn't it possible that it happens to Rick in the zombie apocalypse? He's been so strong and pushed headlong into so much, it's a shock that this is only just happening now. Love it. And that is my new meme on this show. Everything's going to be a psychic break.
Yeah.
Any unexplained bullshit, psychotic break.
Maybe Laurie was having psychotic breaks when she let Carl out of her
Andrew
sight.
deciding she loved the zombie fights, psychotic break. Getting in bed with the governor, obviously, psychotic break. On the new stuff, or you got anything else to mention on that?
Nope.
Solid email, Brian. Trisha DB says, thank goodness Daryl found Carol, and now he has even more women swimming for him. Teens, check. College girls, check. New mothers, check. The cougar demographic, check. And last but not least, real babby. After seeing the freaky baby on Twilight living in the Uncanny Valley, a real live baby was a relief. Yes, Trisha, that was a hideous, hideous CGI baby in Twilight. And I will say no more. I survived.
What are you talking about?
The newest Twilight.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Don't talk to me about this.
All right, I'm moving on. I'm just
until it's on Riff Tracks.
I'm agreeing with Trisha. I cannot wait to hear what the boys say about this goddamn baby. Oh God. It's like
don't do it.
It's like they mixed up the model for Gollum and a baby, and they're like, well, shit, we rendered it. It's too late to fix. Keep going. It's not like the special effects in this movie work at all. Noel Albano said, does anyone else not really scared of the governor anymore, or the governator? I was more disturbed by his pastiness on displays. He took the cookies out of Andrea's cookie jar than anything else. The captain not having the governor's body.
No.
Nah, she wants him to put some more time in the gym, get some spray tan. He is in Georgia, for God's sakes.
Yeah, he should have a tan.
Why is he that pasty? Still got sunblock in the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, you spend all your time in a room full of zombie heads.
That's true.
And brushing your daughter's hair.
Yeah, with the incense going and the
Yeah, you're not getting much
blinds
sunlight.
pulled.
Hope he's taking vitamin D supplements.
I'm not sure. He's taking vitamin A. I'm not sure what the writers want us to think of the governor. He looks like he stepped out of from behind the desk job at a 9-to-5 job. Maybe that's intentional. He was a lot more imposing in his debut episode. On the other hand, I'm very terrified of Merle. He's a loose cannon and loyal to no one but himself. For those of you that played the card game Bang, Merle is the ultimate renegade. Board game shout out.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I like Bang. Particularly because you can say you get to bang people.
Okay.
I've
think
banged Jim on more than one occasion.
they're just not showing the governor's crazy anymore. They're kind of letting it lay a little dormant. Guaranteed it will come back.
No, and I
guarantee. Yeah.
I love what they're doing because we know he's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen, the daughter. We've seen the fish tank full of heads. We've seen the National Guard massacre. But Andrea doesn't.
Yeah.
And
so it's building tension. It's like,
yes,
when is this finally going to
yes.
come crashing down?
Yes.
And how far into this society is she going to get before it does?
Yes. Natalie T said, I like how Daryl has talked about how it sucked that his mother's death was hard because she just disappeared. There's no tangible evidence of her dead body. And it made me understand why he was so frustrated with Carol's missing this. He thought it happened again. No body, but still dead. I like that take.
Yep.
Eric T said, come on, if you tell someone not another step and they keep walking towards you, you just fucking shoot them already.
Thank you.
Love the car at the Happy Stick family figure family. And what was that possum on Carl's plate? And was that possum on Carl's plate?
Possum
super
on Carl's
observant viewer here.
Wow. Well, I mean, it makes sense. He shot the possum.
How would it be recognizably possum, though?
I don't know.
I mean, after you
Then you skin it and you gut it, yeah.
How can you tell any rodent or possum or beaver or anything?
I think he was joking.
Oh.
I think he was making a joke.
Sorry. I'm not.
I don't think he's ultra
I'm not myself tonight.
and able to identify meat on sight.
He also says, I think Andrea's crazy phone is surgically implanted in her head and it just never hangs up. Woo! The Andrea hates come back in full force for this episode.
Apparently.
Philip Z said, I'm going to make an official prediction that next week, when Michonne finally meets Daryl, A, will be pointing or drawing a weapon at her, and B, his first words to her will be something along the lines of, God, you reek, from the zombie guts, or something equally rude, to which she will respond in kind. Do you think Daryl's going to inherit his brother's gift of making an impression on the newcomers? I think he already has, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a little bit of an attitude.
He likes to tweak people.
Yeah.
He's a ne'er-do-well.
Sure.
Unless he's got a baby cradled in his arms, or a baby, or a zombie apocalypse hot MILF.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Ruben L. from Boston. Oh, you know what? I actually assembled this email when I was in a better frame of mind. It's he sends a nice email, and he also expresses he's a Patriots fan. He wished me well about their brutal ass kicking they gave to my Colts this weekend, and I can't talk about that.
Did he mention
I can't
anything
talk
about The
that,
Walking
Ruben
Dead?
L. from Boston? No, he didn't. So I need to.
You don't want to talk about that? Are you having a psychotic break?
I am having a psychotic break. I was going to give myself 60 seconds to talk about the state of the Colts because people keep baiting me in feedback, and I keep on not having time. But I just can't do it. I'm too sick. I swore, I was like, this is the first fucking Patriots game in 10 years I'm going to look forward to because we've got a reasonable chance of winning, and there's no expectation to do so. Mm-hmm. And then by the fucking 15 minutes into the game, I'm like, no, dude, we're totally going to win. We're totally going to. No, we got eviscerated. So
you gave yourself the 60 seconds anyway.
But congrats for being like one of the probably 10 classy Boston fans.
Oh, all right.
Anyway. Tommy A says, in this episode, I feel like The Walking Dead put its big boy pants on. Every single scene had me on the edge of my seat. I felt like Merle was the key to some of these groups clashing together, and it's finally happening. He's absolutely insane. An official prediction, Daryl kills him in the second half of the season. Best episode ever. Better than the pilot? Yeah, I said it, Tom.
What?
That's insane.
Tom, you're crazy.
Tommy A, come on now. Bring it back. Reel it back in. Reel it back in.
And since this whole season they've been wearing the big boy pants. I mean, it has been nonstop big boy pants.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah.
They've really stepped up their game this season.
They really have.
So this was, in my opinion, a middle-of-the-road episode in an otherwise awesome season.
Now, do you think this episode is going to be one we feel differently about down the line? Or, kind of like
well, I was
first
thinking
episode
about that.
of Breaking Bad? Because I just feel like some of this stuff is just bad.
Well, I don't think any of it was actually bad. I just don't think it did a whole lot. I mean, it didn't really set anything up as far as I can tell. I mean, we'll find out in the next couple episodes, but it didn't seem to push the story forward that much, Like, okay, Maggie gets captured.
Yeah.
That's about it,
But, for...
I guess Rick's back on board with
it's kind of like they
being
tried to
alive.
half-ass a fishbowl episode. Like, what if they took this and took 40 intense minutes of Rick having a psychotic breakdown? And
That's
they
too
just
much.
stayed in the boiler room, and various survivors tried to talk him off his cliff, and it's just him working through that. That would be kind of cool, right? Or am I
you're talking about like
feverish over here?
Taking a Breaking Bad route with like The Fly.
Yeah,
Like just stick Rick in a room and let him act the pants off of himself.
yes.
And see what happens.
Have him Photoshop his pants off and see what happens. I kind of think that'd be cool.
It might be interesting to do some more kind of experimental stuff like that.
Because it's
but
like
then
that's-
again, it could just totally ruin it for all the people who like what they've
That's
been
true.
doing.
That's true.
They've set a tone that they need to kind of follow.
I just think that would be something. I mean, it's not immediately obvious that Breaking Bad could pull that off.
It's true.
Just
Yeah.
have a single episode where just Walt and the tension of whether he's going to tell Jesse
Yeah.
about his
things that happen.
Yeah,
so
because
it
I'm
is
trying not to spoil an
anything.
awesome show.
Uh-huh.
But you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
would have been an interesting direction to take it.
Yeah, I
But
just
you're
don't-
right. There've probably been a lot of people that would just mutiny over that.
Yeah.
Michelle K said, God, I'm starting to hate this show, or more specifically, the writers or producers for ruining an awesomely badass, strong, self-confident, self-aware, intelligent, resourceful character from the comics. Andrea is now deteriorating into Bella Swan territory. I mean, WTF. So the governor has a nice garden and some kick-ass WWE fighting action going on, so she submits to intercourse, quote unquote.
WWZ.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
With him after, a few days? Comics Andrea would have never fallen for the governor's slick act. It's so inconsistent with her character. It's hard to believe Robert Kirkman, who so brilliantly conceived the story and comics in the first place, rubber stamps this bullshit gleefully so he can cut a check each week. That's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And I still think I don't know what to say to this, because I don't know that Andrea, with what she knows,
Yeah.
is... I can't fault her for what she's doing. And also...
Yeah, and she's been on the run for 8 months, and when they got there, she was on her deathbed. She was
Yeah.
super sick. She's found this oasis that I could just see her staying in. Why wouldn't she stay here?
Right.
It seems like the perfect place to stay.
Right. No, and another thing is, it's not like Kirkman has delivered 104 flawless issues of The Walking Dead, too.
Oh, no?
There's been, and what's really interesting to me is as I was reading through, I actually read the letters column, and he gets, like, some of his readers get pugilistic with him, and he, like, responds and, like, calls him out, and, I mean, at the death of every major character, there's this outpouring of, you fucking asshole, you're a dick, you're just doing this for, the sake of doing it and all that, and... So it's not all been roses and sunshine over there. Anyway, the counterpoint to Michelle is Emma said, I love this episode. I really want to focus on the sick feeling I have in my stomach right now concerning the fan base's reaction to Andrea, as if everyone wouldn't fuck the governor. He's a nice...
I would not. For the record, I would not.
What's your price to fuck the governor is what I want to know. He's a
At
nice-looking man.
least one bottle of scotch.
He's a nice-looking man. Whistle pig?
Sure.
He's a nice-looking man who appears to be very well put together, even if you're not starved for sex, unless something awesome was happening with Michonne. She hasn't had sex for almost a year. It's never a bad idea to be fucking the guy with access to good hooch.
There you go.
There you go.
Says
I
it
think
all.
that might
Just
be a
summed
little
it
bit
up.
on the other side. Like, the guy's got good hooch, fucking woo! But a little spring breaky on that take there, Emma. I'm not trying to judge, but... Somewhere
Yeah.
between Michelle K and Emma, there's probably a happy admiration or lack of condemnation to Andrea.
Woodbury is the Cancun of the zombie apocalypse.
Adam McInn says, so do you remember that Randall guy? What's the deal with him? Do you think he'll be mentioned again, or do you think it will just be a drop plot line?
Not drop plot line.
I feel like he's got to be with the Woodbury group, right? I mean, we're never going to solve that
I don't think
mystery.
they're going to address it. I mean, this...
They could easily. When they finally get these groups together, Rick could have like a tense scene where it's like, you sent that Randall guy, didn't you? Those guys from Nebraska were up to no good. Damn you, Liam Neeson.
Didn't send any of them.
Anyway, Mike C said, why didn't Rick just use Star 69? I thought it was because it was a rotary phone. You're saying it was a touch tone.
I think it's because there was no dial tone, and he had a psychotic break. But yeah, you're right. Why didn't he try it? I thought it was touch tone, but I don't know.
Friend of the show, Rachel from Indianapolis, said, during the spoilers from last cast, I thought I heard Aaron say Andrew, i.e. Andrew Lincoln, went to the governor to make sweet love. Now, that would be something. There's a holy shit moment till I realized Aaron said Andrew, not Andrew. That would be something.
That would be unexpected, certainly.
James R. said, how much time took place between when Michonne left Woodbury and Merle and the gang with the follower? You'd think that if they just wanted her dead, they'd wait until Andrew was away from the wall and immediately follow her in the woods and kill her.
You'd think so.
You'd think that. Did I miss something? They explain why they wanted her dead. I speculate that it's probably because they don't want anyone to know that they're there unless they're with them.
Exactly.
Because they don't want anyone to do to them what they obviously do to other people.
Yep. How big is this town, by the way? This Woodbury looks huge.
It does. Like, it looks 100-ish.
Acres?
No, 100-ish people.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the town itself.
Wait,
it looks like it's
we
pretty
got a
sprawling.
population count. What did they say it was?
I thought it was in the 70s, but
yeah, you're right. But it seems like there's way more
seems...
people. Like at the zombie fight and.
Well, the zombie fight, there were like thousands, right? It was huge.
No, man, it wasn't like it wasn't like a stadium.
I thought they showed an overhead shot of it, and it was a stadium.
Oh, if they did, then
maybe
that's
not.
like a
I could be
really
remembering
bad
wrong.
continuity error. How did Merle come across Maggie and Glenn? Didn't he kill Neil so that he wouldn't have to follow Michonne into the red zone of walkers? If Michonne was at the same spot as Maggie and Glenn, didn't he do exactly that? Why is his reasoning for bringing them back to Woodbury? So my thought is he mentioned to Neil that they needed to go jack a car and get on back. So I think he ventured into the nearest town, which might have been on the outskirts of the red zone, just to find a car and get the hell out of there.
Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense.
Also, that's kind of foreshadowing. So if they've established a green zone, a relatively walker-free area, that would explain why, Maggie kind of mentioned the fact that, hey, it's nice that there's no zombies moaning around here.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he said the final scene with Michonne at the fence with a basket of baby formula was killer. I wonder if Rick was thinking, can anyone else see this chick with the sword and the Emma-Phil, or am I still hallucinating? Infamil, I mean. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, is this real? I just imagined up my dead wife on the phone.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's a good point.
It's kind of like that, beautiful mind moment where at the end of the movie, he's like asking one of the students, can you see this fellow?
Yeah. Awesome.
Julie W. said, where's Carol? I think that she's in a different area of the prison because she got lost making a run for it. It turns out that she thinks that there's more prisoners and she's being held. Why else did she stay away, and why was she so weak? Let's hope that she wasn't being abused, but more than likely... ... She's suggesting that there's other pockets of prisoners in this prison.
No. It's been a very long time, hasn't it?
Maybe a couple weeks, but she goes, the reason for this prediction is because when Daryl pulls out the knife, the blood is still very red and the zombie didn't look very wasted away. That's a good point. I noticed the same thing when he pulled the. I don't think her theory is correct, but it did seem like a continuity error when they pulled that out and there's like a bright red blood on the blade spurting out.
We know it's been at least a day, right? Because that's the timeline in Woodbury. And I don't assume that they're jumping around in time
at
going
least a day
back and
from
forth.
what?
At least a day from when Carol disappeared. Because she disappeared before Michonne left.
Yes. It's been probably a day, maybe two.
So that's probably why she was so weak. She's been on the run.
Yeah, I get
2
that,
days.
but what do you think about the
red blood?
Yeah, it's just a gaffe on Nicotero's part.
I don't know.
I thought all zombie blood has been black so far. These zombies been dead a long time.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
D from California says, I know this isn't Mad Men or Breaking Bad, but do you think there's any significance between Andrew's blouse with the number 5 written on it in the show? I'm hoping she's the 5th to die, or maybe she's the 5th to die this season. We talked about that. I don't think so. So, I was just reading that to give you a shout out there, D. Alex F., I was really digging the governor, and now I think these days are coming to an end. I'll defend the guy for the most part. Sure, he's kind of crazy, what the Notebook, his zombie daughter, and the wall of heads, but honestly, who wouldn't be a little off after going through the apocalypse? Psychotic break, man. Despite all that, he seems to have built a real sustainable community here in Woodbury, exactly the kind of starting point you'd probably need for human society to make a permanent comeback. His ruthlessness in dealing with anybody who might threaten his power is problematic, but having that kind of ambiguity is good. In fact, I'd love to see a show with the governor as the main character. He'd be a great AMC anti-hero and would certainly fit in much better with Don Draper and Walter White than Rick does. But alas, now it appears we're headed for a confrontation between Team Governor and Team Dictatorship. I have to assume that the governor will be more and more unambiguously evil, and the population of Woodbury will turn out to be mostly crazy with a cult-like devotion to their leader. And that's a shame because he's been an interesting character so far, and I'm way more on his side than I think the show intends me to be.
So he brings up a good point here. Do you want to see the governor try to justify what he's doing? Do you think there would be any effect to that?
I think he has been justifying it fairly well. And
You
honestly,
think so?
I agree. I like the portrayal that they're doing here on the TV show.
Well, I mean, like, justify, like, people find out what he's actually been up to, and then him having to justify that. Do you think they could? I think they could make a pretty good scene out of him saying,
I've got this
hey, this
theory
is a new world.
that he is, like, he started off as a pretty good leader and doing good things, but now he, since Penny died, is more or less had his own psychotic break, and he sits in his office and he just brushes her hair and makes hash marks when people think he's planning and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he's just turned into a pirate king, basically. He's raping and pillaging the countryside, and...
So you don't think there is a method to his madness?
I think
you
he's
it's
just crazy.
Madness?
That's what... I mean... You did notice he's sitting there making more ticks in his notebook when Andrew first walks in on him.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's just sitting there just making hash.
Wow.
Still.
Okay, he's definitely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Which is interesting.
there.
The second time I saw that, the first time I was kind of scoffing. I was like, well, that's kind of like, the Diet Coke of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the second time you saw him doing it, and he's just there with that like this calm, completely detached look on his face, it's like, okay, that's a little chilling.
Yeah. Nice.
Tyler Watt says, one of the themes I noticed in this episode was that the characters are dealing with people they've known that have died or that they've killed. I know it's unusually an ongoing theme, but is made very prominent in this episode. Rick's imaginary phone calls forcing him to confront his demons about the people he's killed, the people he lets die, and coping with Lori's death, Carl and Daryl's mutual disappearing mothers. The governor is still obviously batshit insane, the root of which seems to be his refusal to accept that his daughter is dead. And he mentions that putting more strokes in the notebook, it seems like it's more meticulous than maniac about it, or manic. Andrea and the girl who can't shoot a bow worth a damn, talking about having to kill their own relatives. I do like the angle that Alex has about the cult-like devotion, because I wanted to mention that in the recap and I forgot to. But that bow girl, the very first thing out of words out of her mouth were, "I'd do anything for the governor."
Yeah.
Which,
it's a very Jim Jones-esque sort of feel to it.
We've seen like, him bedding down to greet her, and now Andrea. Do you think he just tapped Lemon on the shoulder and
Oh, probably.
come on up to the mansion, the
That's
governor's
what I
mansion?
thought his plan was in the first place.
But
I don't know. As I look at the population there, it seems to be more evenly distributed.
last but not least, our listener Jorge says, "Sup, fellas? Just wanted to see how you guys were digging the new Kevin Costner, Daryl rescuing Whitney Houston Carol from the paparazzi zombies."
What? Is that a reference? Bodyguard? Oh, jeez. I never saw that movie.
How many people
But
are
that's a
still listening to our
splendid
podcast right now?
I think they just turned it up.
It's not just Rick Grimes, baby. I do mean Whitney Houston.
Oh, man.
All right. That's it. We're ready for the spoilers after a brief outro, right?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, so we're part of the Bald Move Network. You can find all of our shows even, baldmove.com. And not just the television stuff that we do. No, we also have the Personal Arrogance guys from Seattle holding it down, talking video games, board games, beer, movies, current events, just random bullshit, and it's funny.
Football.
You get some football talk
Some
in there.
baseball when it's on.
Yeah, not so much on the baseball. But yeah, so you can find them on baldmove.com. You can also follow Jim and I. Jim at Twitter, twitter.com/baldmove, me at facebook.com/baldmove. We both have live threads during the episode where Jim tweets and interacts with you fans, and I do as well on Facebook. So join the fun over there. It's a good time. You can send us long-form feedback at watchingdead at baldmove.com. And as far as supporting us, not just sending us feedback and liking us, follow us on Twitter, but we really appreciate iTunes reviews. If you haven't already, please stop by and throw us a few. Throw us one our way. It doesn't take very long. Just click an appropriate number of stars and put some comments if you want. And that really helps us build our audience. And most of our traffic comes from iTunes, and it's amazing what a couple dozen reviews over the course of a week will do for iTunes ratings. So we thank you for doing that for us. Also, you can use our Amazon.baldmove.com affiliate link. And that way, if you're buying something off Amazon and you use that affiliate link for that session only, and you have to keep using that if you want to keep sending money our way, that actually takes a little bit of Amazon's cut. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't add to your shipping or handling. It just sends a little bit of love our way, and we appreciate everyone that does that for us. And, digital, got Black Friday. Fuck Black Friday.
Oh, Digital Monday.
Dude, Digital Monday. And Amazon's actually doing a digital Black Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they got some awesome...
They have an awesome
virtual
deal.
doorbuster deals.
They got actually a really good deal on the Homeland Season 1
I saw you
Blu-rays.
posted that.
It's like $25 for Season 1. That's really good.
I saw you that. Especially, so, all you male Firefly fans out there, if you ever wanted to see... what's the companion's name?
Anara is her name
if you ever want to see Anara butt naked in glorious 1080p, get the Season 1 Homeland Blu-rays, and you can enjoy that. That is all that I have.
All right.
Tell a friend.
Yes, tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Always helps. Phone them up. Call them up.
Well, that's it for the non-spoiler section of the podcast this week.
We don't have any hard-hitting, brutal spoilers. The other thing is, when I do the hard-hitting, brutal spoilers, I always do them as the last spoiler segment. Mm-hmm. And I always say, okay, we're ready to do the no shit super spoilers.
The real spoilers.
If you're like a comic book fan and you usually listen to our spoilers, but that scares you off, just know that we're, from this point forward, always going to do that format where if we have the high-wadded spoilers, they're the last thing we do in the spoiler
But then
section.
It becomes, how long do I wait before...
I always give them fair notice.
Yeah, but I feel like the music is a better cutoff.
Well, sure. If you want to be safe...
Because you could lose track of the conversation
if you want to live a little bit,
join up back in the middle of a spoiler.
Yeah, right.
Be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, or that one...
But with the music, it kind of says, hey, we're
or like the one listener on Breaking Bad, he's listening to our podcast, fell asleep.
Oh, no.
So thanks. That's a really sterling endorsement of our content. Dude fell asleep. Our outro woke him up, and he's kind of like, what's going on? And then we immediately launched into these fully loaded spoilers.
I picture him fumbling around for the phone in the dark.
Yeah, right.
Turn it off.
It's like, Marty McFly waking him up with
Darth
Van
Vader
Halen.
helmet. Yeah.
It's melting my brain. All right, so we're ready for spoilers. We need to stop this shit.
Yeah, we do. All right.
Play the music and get to the spoilers because I'm about to pass out.
That's it for this week's episode. As always, until next time, I'm Jim.
And I hope I survive the next week. I'm Aaron. See you next week.
And we're back with the spoiler section. Go ahead and run the preview for next week.
On the next episode of AMC's The Walking Dead.
How about my baby brother? You can't tell me he's alive and then hold off on where he is.
Red, down.
No. They're people may come for him.
Down from by this guy who calls himself the governor.
For a longer look at the next episode of AMC.
So Daryl's obviously going to go after, like, Michonne's going to bust in, say, hey, Daryl, they've got Maggie. Daryl's the one who walks in that room with that knife, right? And he has to fight Merle.
I don't know. I don't
like
know.
it.
I know that Daryl is totally owning his crouching badass or his crouching redneck role.
I feel
He's just like, I feel
yeah.
like he met with like a combat specialist or something, and they're like, you really should put your forearm up and then get the knife like this and crouch, kind of crouch.
Yeah,
It's unbeatable
No.
technique.
I refuse to believe that Norman Reedus takes advice from anyone on how to be a badass.
Yeah, he just slid out the canal.
Yeah.
Fully formed as a badass. All right,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
buy that. I'll buy that.
I feel like these previews do nothing.
No,
for a
I mean
podcast.
obviously,
I want to know, the people who listen to spoilers, do you like these previews for next week? Because you can't see them, and then we talk about stuff you didn't see.
Well, yeah, but they've seen it. I mean, they can watch along with us if they want,
They
and
can,
we
but they
describe
won't.
it. I mean, so it's like what I got from this is that Glenn and Maggie are going to be interrogated.
Yes, obviously.
Now, I'm going to let the listeners say it all later on, but that very much concerns me, knowing what I know about the prison plot line in the comic books, which we've talked about at length in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
I want to raise an issue with the show. This Poindexter guy that's doing these zombie experiments, you think he's a fraud?
I have no reason to believe that.
Like, there's this
Why
comic.
do you
So,
say?
like, I was reading. I finished up the Walking Dead run last week, and I was reading in pretty far into the series. They find the survivor who claims to be a military scientist that was in contact with Washington D.C. And he lost contact, and he fooled a bunch of survivors into protecting him and escorting him to Washington D.C. Because they thought he had a cure, and he was a high school science teacher, and he knew a lot, enough to kind of impress like the average Joe and to make me thinking he's like this advanced scientist and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if they're incorporating some of that in this Poindexter thing, because he's always talking about these fucking crazy zombie experiments, but he's like, what is he really doing?
Wrapping his arms in duct tape.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, he does seem, and he's
making tea.
That's
it.
his claim to fame.
Yeah.
And like, if he thinks that, and obviously he's gotten the attention of the governor, playing on his, desire to figure out what's going on with his daughter, and he's trying to get women. So
I don't know. He might be. We'll
I
find
just
out
want to
soon
throw that
enough.
out there to some of the comics to see if he has anything in common with. I can't even remember the guy's name, man. All the names kind of run together, but the fat, freckly dude with the mullet.
No, I don't know him.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm talking to the comic
Oh,
fans
all right.
here, Jim.
Fair
You're
enough.
just in a room. Happen to be in a room. Dave the Clone Maresca says, "What to say about this week's episode? I'm really not loving the way Rick's descent is being portrayed. Please don't misunderstand Andrew Lincoln, whose real last name is Clutterbuck, by the way.
What?
Confirm that on Wikipedia while I read this.
Fair enough.
But I'm not thrilled with this turn. He's Andrew Lincoln did an excellent job, but I'm not thrilled with this turn the season seems to be taking. The phone is coming into play way too soon, coupled with the rate at which Rick is coming apart at the seams. I'm really starting to worry that we're actually going to blow through the entire prison arc almost before the mid-season finale.
It's true.
Get the fuck. His name is Clusterfuck?
Born Andrew Clusterfuck. No, Clutterbuck. Wow.
That's the limiest fucking name I've ever heard.
oh,
That
man.
is so limey, it would burn your skin if it got on you. I love that we're seeing so much more of the governor. It seems in the remix season, the writers are giving us a much more introspective glimpse into what makes Philip the character he is, as opposed to ways introduced in the comics. As a sadistic bastard who takes little to no provocation to separate people from their limbs and chop up recently rescued or discovered survivors. Yeah, he's a fucking maniac in the and he makes no illusions about it. And he's even drawn. He's got like a greasy, stringy, pedophile haircut and
I remember him
creepy
looking
mustache
way worse
and
in the
yeah,
comic.
It's like he's dressed the same as the governor. He's got the vest and all that stuff, but everything else, they're playing it much cooler, much more charming and believable. Like, yeah, there's no fucking way Andrew would get in bed with the other guy.
Andrew's getting in bed with him?
Andrea. Okay, Rachel. Merle is also a nice wrinkle to the fabric of the story, as his motivations are going to work on multiple levels. He wants to find his brother, which in his family is the closest we'll able to get to a noble mission, but realizing that Glenn and crew are still roving around together is going to be what brings the governor around to setting his sights on the prison as the next extension of his empire. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Merle and Daryl are going to be interesting because, as we found out, Daryl did not have the rosiest relationship with his brother.
Nope.
And even he mentioned in this episode, it's like, I was playing with other kids because Merle was a way I could do that. Like, Merle just never let Daryl do anything. It was all about, like, fear and prejudice and mistrust and we're too good and, you know, that other bullshit. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the governor is going to want what the prisoners have. He might even want the prison itself.
Certainly.
That's what happens in the comic book. So
yeah,
we'll
I
find
would
out.
be shocked if they don't follow that same storyline.
Right.
Because it is such a strong one.
Yeah.
From what I've heard,
But the thing is, I don't think we're going to get there in this. I feel like that's going to be the next half. Is going to be we're going to introduce the characters and, you know, set them to odds, as Lori put it. But then the next season will play out that whole kind of conflict.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Carol's still alive. I'm only happy for Daryl. The rest of us must suffer her hideously ugly mug and lame. I'm no longer a woman to be found attractive. Abused wife haircut that she's had since before the zombie apocalypse. She even had the same do in The Mist, which is no doubt where she was recruited by Darabont to be the controversial female survivor. She brings an element of realism to the show since she's barely zombie apocalypse hot. The only side effect is actually suffering her continued existence on the show. I've come to like Carol.
I don't think she's that bad.
No, man.
She's certainly not as zombie apocalypse hot as you're trying to make her.
Wait, what?
And-
what? Who, me?
No. You just happen to be in the room.
Oh, okay. You're talking to Dave here.
talking
Okay,
to
I'll check out.
But I just don't have a problem with the character. I mean, I did in season 2 when she was just weeping about her daughter constantly, not doing anything to help. But I don't have a problem with her anymore.
You know, I noticed when Daryl picked her up and carried her out that she kind of looked like a slightly past her prime Erin Gray.
Who's that?
She was the girl from, like, Buck Rogers, and I think she's on Silver Spring. She's a looker, man.
Come on, man. Little House on the Prairie, Buck Rogers. How old are you?
I don't know why I'm thinking of that, but I'm saying she reminded me of Erin Gray, and that's what she fucking starred in. That's what she's known for.
All right.
I was a child of the 70s, man.
I don't remember her.
Well, that's because you are not. You're
Child of the 80s.
That's right. It's a rough cutoff. All right. Jake from Tallahassee says, "Hey guys, I guess this question would be for the spoiler section, which is why we're reading it now. What if Maggie and Michonne's storylines were switched? Maggie ends up getting tortured and eventually gets unholy revenge on Governor Neeson. Do you think it would be more effective since Maggie is a show regular? Hope to find out next Tuesday." So he's saying that in the comic, Michonne gets tortured and raped within earshot of Rick and Glenn to kind of break them. And we've talked about this, and, like, you know, I thought, you know, we'd be interesting to see if Daryl was that. But now, like, if it's Maggie, and he's like, do you think it'd be more or less of an impact since we know Maggie a lot more than we know Michelle at this point?
Yeah.
And, you know,
I would like that because, frankly, I like the character of Maggie better. I think there's certainly more going on that we've seen. You know, we haven't seen much of Michonne other than, okay, she can handle a sword.
That's poor Glenn.
Yeah, and that's another reason why it would be so good. Because of the way it would affect the other characters. So much more than Michonne, who they don't even know yet.
Well, I think the last episode of this mini-season is called Made to Suffer, which is the name of a prominent storyline in the Walking Dead comic, and it's going to be bad for somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know how far AMC is going to go, but I just buckle up, my people. It's going to get bad. Adam McInn speaks to my rage and pain here. He says, "No, not Maggie. No, 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 no." He gives like a Darth Vader. "No, Glenn Mazzara, why do you know how to rip my heart out? And it hasn't even happened yet. Fuck." He says, okay, I'm calm now. He's composed himself. Not really. I cannot be calm. Do you know why? Because I have an idea in my head that the governor is going to rape and torture Maggie. There's no fucking way I can handle that. Do you think if they're going to go so far as to do this, that they would have her come back and torture the governor? So
I hope so. I hope they go balls to the wall with this plot line.
The thing is, that's not Maggie's character.
But it could become Maggie's character if she's tortured and raped.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, psychotic break, anyone?
I feel like that was Michonne. Like, Michonne... I don't think the average person would have that reaction. But Michonne is kind of, like, crazy in the way Rick is crazy.
Okay.
Like, she can be pushed and come up with surprising amounts of inhuman behavior back. Like, I mean, Governor gets his eye gouged out with the spoon that she had just shoved up his ass. Gets his dick nailed to a floorboard. I mean, yeah, totally. That's not recommended by any fecal handling practice that you would care to mention. It gets pretty dark.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on because I think there's one more email about this. Sully from Boston says, just from the previews, we know Michonne is going to spill what she suspects of the governor's cult to Rick and company. Again, begging the question of why Michonne didn't at least voice her suspicions to Andrea. Michonne obviously knew they would try to stalk and kill her, so Michonne needed to get Andrea to leave with her as the governor clearly would have wanted Andrea alive. He's not that sick, yet Andrea's fine leg notwithstanding, haven't been so revolted by a TV sex scene since the days of seeing Sipowitz's ass on NYPD Blue.
Disgusting.
I don't know.
They made a huge deal about that. I
think Andrea's attractive. Yeah. Not when she cries or is angry.
No, when she
morphs into some kind of chaos elemental. But yeah, it's like, it's an okay sex scene. I'm very curious about the interrogations to come. The movie TV trope is that our heroes never get hurt during torture, yet this is the one show where they'd have no qualms about showing bloody real torture. In the real world of zombie apocalypses, quote-unquote, Merle immediately pulls out one of Glenn's eyeballs or cuts off Glenn's nuts with his stub weapon, and Glenn spills his guts on the prison locale. But maybe knowing this, Glenn caves quickly. Better Glenn give them up, and the showdown takes place at the prison where Rick and company stand a chance. Woodbury seems impregnable. Speaking of which, please, zombie overlords, do not give us Andrea Governor baby. Yuck. So how far do you think AMC will go showing torture? Important to note,
they got to go farther than Lost.
All of Michonne's torture was shown off camera, so to speak. You saw the before and the after, and then from Glenn's point of view, the sounds and the screaming. Mm-hmm. But they showed in graphic detail the torture of the governor, which I thought was interesting. They shielded the violence done to the good person, but they showed in full graphic detail the shit that happened to the governor inflicted by the quote-unquote good person. How far do you think AMC can go in showing this stuff?
Like I said, they got to go farther than Lost, and Lost shoved bamboo under people's fingernails.
Wow.
So, yeah. Are you talking about actually showing it, like, on camera stuff?
Like car batteries, the nipples? Are we talking that kind of level?
No, you can't show a nipple on the screen.
Guy's nipple you can.
Okay, fair enough.
Glenn's juiced up.
Nipples? Yeah. I don't...
What about a power drill into the kneecap? Something like that.
I'm trying to think how much they've shown with people. They've shown people getting their necks ripped out by zombies. They've shown a lot of graphic stuff.
What about an eyeball getting gouged out?
Yeah, I could see an eyeball coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems like heading towards hard R. Like, I don't think this show has to stay PG-13. So you got to think, what could you get away with in a PG-13 movie?
Well, they're definitely not going to show any kind of rape scene. No way.
They can heavily imply it.
They could heavily imply it, and I think they'll heavily imply all this stuff.
I think that would be worse.
But I think an eye could come out. Yeah.
Because my imagination can paint a pretty brutal picture.
Definitely. It could be horrible.
All right. So I think that's all we got for spoilers.
That's it?
I think there's one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Well, we're running really freaking long tonight.
I don't care. It's a spoiler section. I'm sick, damn it.
Fuck.
Real Words I'm Fools one of... Yeah, I don't know. I had something really insightful I wanted to say, and I've forgotten.
Let's see if you can ramble long enough to get to it. Nope, that's it. I'm calling it.
Right.
I'm pronouncing this podcast dead.
You're calling it?
Yep.
All right.
At 1 hour 30 mark.
All right. See you, folks.